Hey guys, welcome back to another pick a card reading. For this reading, so we're gonna take a look at like a specific action that maybe someone took or like the way that they're acting, and kind of just let the cards explain why your person took a certain action or why they're acting a certain way. Um, so yeah, it's kind of I guess like a I don't know. I don't feel like this is like I guess the most entertaining reading for people to listen to, but I am just hoping that it's more of like a helpful energy or like a helpful reading for people to listen to. So yeah, I have four piles to choose from. Yeah, if you've been with me on this channel, you might notice that these cards are new. I've never used these cards before. It's a new deck for me. So I'm very excited, and I will be reading a little bit from the guidebook for these cards. And I'll probably be doing that like more towards the end of the reading. So yeah, sorry for those of you who don't really enjoy the reading from the guidebook type of thing. I know that for me specifically, like I'm not always the best reader. So I'm hoping that, my brain is clear today and I'll be, good at reading when I have to do that. But anyways, go ahead and choose whichever pile you feel most drawn to and we'll try and kind of explain your person's behavior. So I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile one, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this white crystal here, or I guess like more clear crystal. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's quartz, but I forgot to ask when I bought it. I thought it was like, I guess the reason why I'm not certain that that's quartz is because I'm pretty sure that one was kind of expensive, and I don't know if it's just because it's like the shape of the crystal. But yeah, because of that, I'm pretty sure clear quartz is usually one of the less expensive crystals to buy, so that's why I'm a bit confused. But anyways, so we have the strength card here. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Ten of Cups. So the tarot cards here are supposed to kind of describe your person's behavior, what sort of action they might have took in your connection. And I would say for your pile, it seems more like just behavior, like how your person's acting. I don't know if this person did something specifically. So I basically how your person has been acting, I would assume like. So with the Ten of Cups, that talks about like emotional fulfillment, a lot of happiness. I would say like all of these cards just make me think of like a very kind of joyous energy, having a lot of fun, feeling really good, feeling really happy. With the Strength card, there's like a level of stability. Like it feels like this person, is strong within themselves. Like it feels like someone who's hard to like disappoint or make them sad or something like that. Like this is a very emotionally strong person at this time. Um, they could feel like with the Four of Wands, it can kind of talk about, well, it's a card of celebration, but it is also a card of like success in a way. So I feel like this person feels successful on some level. They feel content with their life. They feel satisfied. They're emotionally fulfilled. They're happy. So it's really interesting, actually, once we get into more of the cards explaining why your person's acting this way. I would say for a lot of you, this is something that's kind of a newer energy for this person. Maybe you haven't always seen this person as feeling so happy and like having fun and feeling good and joyful. So yeah, let's see. Actually, we'll move this here. So we have, oh gosh, okay. I'm gonna have to stack cards to make room. So yeah, we have Rethinking, we have Blessed Day, and we have this card Search, external/internal. So What I could tell you about why they're acting this way, well, and the reason why I think maybe this is kind of a newer energy for this person. I'm not sure for all of you, this person has always seemed to be so happy. And it kind of feels like at this point, like nothing can really bring them down, which may not be true, but it seems as if their happiness is stable, that like, and so part of the reason why with the search card is I think that this person stopped looking for external sources to make them happy, instead of like looking for like things outside of them to make them happy. They kind of, did some self-reflection and kind of decided that, maybe that wasn't working very well, that like relying on external things to make them happy wasn't really fulfilling their happiness. So I think this person at some point did some deep introspection and kind of discovered the fact that they could be in charge of their happiness. They can make themselves happy. So it makes me think that it's possible that at one point this person was kind of relying on you even to fulfill their happiness. And it's possible that that didn't work out very well. And they were disappointed and that their emotions were kind of unstable because they were just looking for things outside of themselves to make them happy. They kind of figured out that they can make themselves happy. They can create their own happiness. And instead of looking for things outside of themselves to make them happy, knowing that they can create their own happiness, I think that's why the Strength card comes out. Because it's like they're no longer relying on anyone else or an external thing to make them happy. They're kind of in charge of that on their own. And so because they have that capability, like they come across as a lot more stable. The other thing about the Ten of Cups, something that I heard about recently, which makes a lot of sense, because the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups can kind of be a similar energy. Like both of them talk about emotional fulfillment, although the Nine of Cups is more of like a wish fulfillment, and people often talk about the Nine of Cups as being kind of more like a selfish thing, whereas like with the Ten of Cups you have so much joy, you have so much emotional fulfillment that it's like pouring out of you, that you have so much to offer. You can just give, you can be generous with other people. So I think one thing about this person is like maybe they didn't seem so generous in the past and they seemed kind of unstable within their emotions, and seems like they were, looking for, outside sources to make them happy. They definitely thought about that and kind of decided that they should be in charge of their own happiness, instead of relying on, anyone else or other things. And when they do that, their happiness is stable, or at least they feel stable. And it's like this energy of like having so much joy, so much emotional fulfillment that you can be generous with other people without kind of expecting anything in return. So yeah, I will say it's like maybe in the past this person seemed to be quite attached to you in some way, especially if they were kind of like relying on you to, fulfill their happiness. And it could kind of seem like, it's interesting because the other piles kind of feel more negative than this one. I feel like this one might be the most positive energy in this reading. Not that the other ones are like terrible, but like if we're asking a question like why did they do that? Why are they acting like that? I would assume there's some level of like feeling confused about why they're doing something, or like feeling like maybe a level of negativity about it, which is why I wanted to do this reading, to help bring clarity to those types of things and maybe, hopefully help, people kind of detach from it, or like. So one thing, with this pile, I feel like what makes sense to me, and this may not be true for everyone watching, but what makes sense to me is that the reason why you might have clicked on a reading like this with your person is because their happiness doesn't seem to be attached to what you do anymore. Like they seem to be happy on their own without you. And that's not to say that they're like gone from your life. I don't necessarily feel that. But you might be feeling like, oh, like I felt like I could really make this person happy, and now I feel like I kind of don't matter, or like this person doesn't need me. And I don't want you to feel like that's a bad thing, or like it feels like this person did some sort of like inner work, and they just want to feel healthier within themselves as like an individual, and probably be a bit more independent, to be honest. And I think that's kind of their way of not only trying to improve themselves, but improve their connections as well by not relying too heavily on another person, so that they're not, getting upset about things that shouldn't really upset them, and kind of have their more of their own life going on. So yeah, it's like they wanted to. The reason they're acting this way is just because they wanted to have more control over their own emotions, have more control over their own happiness and fulfillment in life, and again, really do that for themselves and not wait for someone else to do it for them. So, we're going to take a look at that inner child and transformation card, and I'm going to read from the guidebook. Okay. Yeah, so it's associated with the word of growth. And it says this card signifies a profound period of personal growth, rooted in connecting with the seeker's inner child and allowing transformative change to unfold. It highlights the courage to embrace vulnerability, to heal old wounds, and to evolve through self-discovery. This card serves as an inspiration celebrating the blossoming of new understanding and resilience from within. Yeah, definitely with that strength card, it's like they've discovered some sort of inner strength where they know that they're like their best supporter in life and that they don't need someone to come do that for them, and that if they're able to do that, then they can trust that they'll be okay, that they'll get through anything, and that they'll still be happy despite life's circumstances. So it's a really good energy, actually. Your person, I would say, is like, someone who does self-reflect and work on themselves and try to improve themselves. So I would say this seems like a very good person that you're dealing with. And I would also say that, like, there's nothing here saying that they did any of this because, like, of any negative feeling towards you. The reason they're acting this way is because they wanted to heal something within themselves that they felt like was needing work, essentially. So yeah, that's your reading, pile one. I hope it did make sense, it resonated with you, and that it was helpful, brought you some level of clarity. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you back in the next reading. Bye. Okay, pile two, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this rutilated quartz, and so first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at some tarot cards, and that's supposed to kind of describe like your person's behavior, what sort of action that they took, that we're trying to figure out why they did that. So your first card, you have the Four of Cups. So you have the Ten of Swords. So I thought that was funny, actually, because after I shuffled out the tarot cards, then I shuffled out this card, which we have Endings and Nightmares. So yeah, with the Ten of Swords, definitely it seems like there was probably some sort of ending in this connection. And then we also have Temperance energy, so we have some Sagittarius energy showing up. So to describe how this person, so it's funny actually, I would say like pile one's energy kind of, I would say, showed more of like the person's behavior or like how they're acting. This one feels a little bit more like a specific action was taken. And to be honest with you, like what this makes me think of is that this person felt upset about the connection with you. And because they felt hurt or they felt upset, they decided to maybe there may have been a betrayal in this connection, or this person could have ended the connection. Maybe there was an abrupt ending in this connection. And I think why. So this feels like a person with a go big or go home type of energy. Like with the Four of Cups, it does talk about, I think in this case, it's kind of more like a missed opportunity. Yeah, it's like maybe you offered something to this person and this person didn't want to accept it because it wasn't, from their perspective, it wasn't enough. They wanted more out of you, or they were disappointed that they, like, what they thought they were going to get with you is not what they actually got with you. Um, Yeah, and I would say, like, to kind of describe this energy, and it may not, obviously, it's probably not this specific thing with most of you, but it could be something similar where it's like, I don't know, I usually go to like messaging, like this person messaged you or something, and then you took a really long time to respond. Like, say you responded 2 days later or something like that, and they were like, they, in all this time, they were building up all these like negative thoughts about it, feeling very like emotional about it, and by the time you like message them back, they're like upset at this point or angry at this point. And so it's like, well, if you don't care enough about me where you're gonna push me off for 2 days, well, now I'm gonna push you off for 4 days, or I'm just never gonna respond, or something like that. Like, I feel like this person expected more out of you on some level, and because they didn't get what they thought they were gonna get, they decided it was just bad, or something like that. Like, it feels like a all or nothing type of thing, where it's like, you need to be everything that they want you to be, and if you're not, then it's somehow it's like not what they're, I don't know. I think they wanted more from you and they didn't get that. And they feel hurt by that, so they wanted, it does feel like kind of like a revenge type of energy, or like, yeah, something like that, where they wanted to hurt you because they felt hurt by you. So they may have like ended the connection, betrayed you on some level. And so it would be like they're no longer giving you attention. They're acting like they're over the connection. And I would say with the Temperance energy, it's like they could be acting like they're a lot happier than they are. They could be acting like they feel so good or they feel so positive. They just don't care. They're more focused on like what else they're going to be doing, or they're focused on the future. Um, Yeah, I mean, this energy has kind of come up in my readings a little bit, where it's like if they felt like you didn't care enough, they're gonna like act like they really don't care either, or something like that. Yeah. So I would say this person, how they're acting right now is they're probably acting disinterested, they're acting done with the situation, they're acting like they've either moved on, they forgot about it, and they're ready to explore new things. Um, yeah, let's see. So let's move this over here. So we have knowledge, ignorant slash knowing. We also have teamwork. And we have passion, yeah. Okay, I would say, like, yeah, for a lot of you, this could definitely be like a love interest or something like that. Like, it could definitely be someone who is very passionate about you. Yeah, like I would say it's like this person probably had a lot of their attention on you, and they were hoping that, it's reciprocated, that you have as much attention on them. And yeah, with the teamwork energy, it just makes me think that this person wanted you to be more cooperative than you were. Or it's like the way they saw you two spending time together or working together or cooperating together didn't happen how they expected it to or how they wanted it to. And because they were disappointed how things really went, like it feels like this person really struggles within their emotions to handle disappointments. They don't handle it well, and they might, fall into a very pessimistic mindset when things disappoint them. And it's kind of like a the world is ending thing, and like all of their dreams are shattered at that moment, and they can't see anything in a positive light. And because of that, um, it does feel like this person lacks experience as far as like regulating their own emotions in situations and relationships, expecting too much out of people, and thinking that, it's kind of like a controlling energy a little bit. Like, oh, you didn't give me what I want out of you, so I'm gonna like throw this connection away. And I will say, by the way, with the Ten of Swords coming out, even if this person has ended the connection on some level or walked away, I don't think that's what they really wanted. And it could be that they still don't want that, and they're acting like they're happy with that, and they don't care or something like that, even though I would say it really does bother them. Um, yeah, this person might have expected you to react with the same amount of passion or the same amount of like emotional intensity as they had. And if you didn't do that, again, like they may have fallen into a very pessimistic mindset from that, which I would say it's like maybe this person doesn't have, very healthy coping mechanisms. Um, and yeah, like with the knowledge card, ignorant slash knowing, I would say this person may have kind of a lack of experience with those types of things in relationships, like emotional regulation, um, and stuff like that. And so it could be that they didn't really make much of an attempt to understand you, I would say. And because they didn't really make much of an attempt to understand where you're coming from, it's mostly a focus on how they feel about it, their own emotions, how hurt they feel. They couldn't really act from a place of being understanding. It's almost like coming from a place of survival or protecting themselves, which I don't really think this person needed to do. But because of a sort of pessimistic mindset, negative mindset, they felt like maybe that was the best option, or they didn't know any other way to handle the situation besides to be kind of petty and act with like this sort of vengeful energy and hurt you, so that you understand how they feel, type of thing. So sorry if you really resonate with that. Like, yeah, that kind of sucks when people do things like that. I've been guilty of doing things like that too. Connections are not always like the easiest. uh And I would say even with this energy, there could be a level of mirroring. So, like, it could be kind of a cycle where you feel hurt about something, so you don't give as much attention, or you don't act as interested, or you kind of just pull back your energy, and then they're upset about that, so they have to do the same thing. And it's, like I said, this energy has come up in my readings recently. It feels like a tit for tat type of thing. But yeah, let's take a look at the endings and nightmares. Okay, so yeah, it describes the fear of letting go. So yeah, I would also say, yeah, it could be for this pile that this person does have trouble with letting go of past hurts. Like they do tend to hold on to things. This person could have a tendency to hold grudges. Um, So yeah, again, it's like tit for tat. Like I'm thinking of all the things that you ever did that hurt me, and I'm gonna use that as ammo, to kind of do the same to you, type of thing. So yeah, it says this card reveals an intense fear or apprehension about allowing something to end. The seeker may feel trapped by the idea of release, plagued by anxiety or doubt around closure, and uncertain about what comes next. It speaks to the struggle of letting go, where fear is the driving force that delays the natural cycle of endings. Interesting. So, I will say, yeah, like, yeah, okay, so, because one thing that I was getting to that I forgot to mention, and I just thought of it now, is yeah, like, if this person, like, I would say, yeah, this person's acting like they're not interested in you, that they're done with this situation, they've moved on, and they're looking towards new things. Um, and part of that energy, I will say, it does feel like this person is kind of doing that, hoping that you would chase them, that that like you would be afraid of an ending in this connection. I do feel like this person fears that, like it's kind of the thing where they might feel like if you showed a lack of interest, that throws them into a pessimistic mindset where the world is suddenly ending and nothing is good about the connection anymore. And it's kind of this fear that you could easily let go of this connection, and if they feel like you could easily do that, it's kind of like they want to walk away before they get hurt by you or something like that. um, So yeah, again, I would just say that this person seems like someone who really struggles with maybe more like lack type of mindsets or negative mindsets. Again, struggles to self-regulate within connections, or like have a better understanding of why you might do something which really triggers them, and then it just creates this kind of a messy situation. So I'm going to end your reading here, pile two. I hope that, it made sense for you, that it resonated, brought you some clarity with your person and, why they're acting the way they are. I would just, my advice for you, if this person really is this way, like they just don't know how to cope with their own feelings and their own emotions within relationships, this person may not have a lot of good, like healthy relationships. And, if that's something that you're wanting and that's not, this sort of behavior this person displays, I would really trust, what you see with this person. And, maybe, yeah, I would think like maybe this is not the most healthy connection to be in. Um, but yeah, who knows? Maybe this person is just kind of dealing with something like right now and it's not their normal behavior, but I don't know. I get the sense that this person really struggles, in life and in relationships, and may not always make a much of an attempt to understand their situation or understand other people, which just creates more tension and misunderstandings and anger and all these negative sort of like emotions and probably reactions and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, pile two, that you're dealing with someone like this, but thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next pile, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Okay, pile three. Welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the grape agate crystal. And so yeah, let's take a look at your cards. The tarot is supposed to kind of explain, what we're seeing from your person, their behavior, maybe a certain action that they took. Dang, these cards. I can see my fingerprint. Oh gosh, okay. Hold on. So yeah, we have Judgment. We have the Death card. So both the Judgment and Death card kind of represent Scorpio energy. Very kind of interesting that both those cards came out. And then we have the Ace of Swords. So I would say how you see this person. Okay, well, one thing. This is interesting. So yeah, both Judgment and Death kind of talk about like a sort of transformation. Like the Judgment card is kind of like a rebirth. So it is possible, I would say, that this is someone from your past. Like this could be someone who you haven't heard from in a while that kind of came back around. And if not, like it just seems like this person has made a lot of like very intense changes. I don't know if that's like with their appearance, maybe it's with their personality. I would think more like with their personality because of the judgment card. This does make me think that this is someone who has made a lot of like positive changes in their life. Um, like you might have thought of this person as being problematic in some way in the past, and maybe the way you see them now is like a lot more, maybe a lot more responsible. Something about their changes seem to be good, I would say. Like they're suddenly heading down the right path or something like that. They're making the right choices or something. So it could be that you saw this person as being like maybe irresponsible in the past, and now they're, you see them as, again, making like the right sort of changes in their life. It could be that they are, yeah, they're trying to change their life in some way. And I would say like it's interesting with the Ace of Swords coming out. It's this idea of like, well, the aces are always about a new beginning, a new start. So it does, again, with the death card and then the ace, it does make me think about like maybe this is someone from your past coming back. And so like maybe this is someone you haven't heard from in a while, and they suddenly messaged you with the Ace of Swords, and you're wondering like why did they do that? Um, the Ace of Swords can also, it's usually about clarity and truth, seeing things clearly. So, and with the Scorpio energy, sometimes I see that as a bit private. So, if this person has been more secretive or private, not really open or sharing things, it could be that you're noticing that suddenly they're being more open, and they're telling you the truth, or they're, it's like this, like being very like open and honest with you, where maybe they were hiding things before. So this one's really interesting, actually. It does really feel like this makes sense as to why you would click on a reading like this. Like what is this person up to? Why did they do this, or why are they acting like this? I also, with the Scorpio energy coming up so heavily, it does make me wonder, a lot of the times I see Scorpio as a very sexual sign. So it does make me wonder, like, because, yeah, Scorpio in, like, maybe the 8th house does kind of relate to death, sex, rebirth, intimacy. So, yeah, I would say with the Ace of Swords, if they're being more open and honest with you, I think it might be because they're wanting, a more intimate connection with you, possibly. So let's see, kind of going into why they've done this or why they're acting this way. So now we have limits, limited slash limitless. We have coldness. Oh, yeah, okay. No, this totally makes sense, actually. Yeah, we have elixir of life. So, okay. Well, one thing, especially with this idea of becoming more, like, maybe vulnerable with you or more open with you, being less private about certain things, yeah, being very open and honest with you. It could be that this person felt like you thought of them as being, kind of cold towards you. Yeah, not being as open with you, those types of things. And that could be because they didn't see as much potential in the connection at one point. I think the reason why they're acting this way with the limits energy, it's like suddenly they've been awoken to like some big potential that they suddenly see in the connection with you. They've like, yeah, I don't know. Suddenly, like, there's something happened where this person suddenly thinks that the connection could change in a really big way, or that they can really have what they want out of life. So this person could have thought, like, if they wanted a connection with you or something about the connection with you, they felt like there wasn't a way to really create that, which makes them feel like, not much is really possible. And maybe they felt like a little bit shut out from the connection, or they maybe felt like, the connection wouldn't be worth their time on some level because nothing would ever come of it or something like that. So I feel like something changed, which made this person feel like there actually is a bunch of potential in the connection, and it may not even be tied to you specifically. Like, it could be that this person, especially with the judgment energy coming out, like, it feels like they did some sort of introspection, or they were reflecting on something, questioning certain things, and it kind of maybe brought them this level of maybe confidence, new awareness, and seeing the potential in situations that they weren't aware of previously. So yeah, it's like this person like suddenly feeling like anything is possible, and if they feel like anything is suddenly possible, then they're more, open to the connection, and they really want to, maybe see where things go. Yeah, honestly, it feels like for most of you, it doesn't feel like it's super attached to your connection. Like, it feels like more of like this person's own perspective in life or something like that. Like with the coldness energy, it's like stagnancy, obviously not like the most happy or open emotions. She's kind of like, she seems kind of bundled up and like it seems kind of restrictive. It could also make me think of like maybe this person was dealing with some level of depression. And again, just not really seeing the potential in situations, or maybe even seeing the potential within themselves. So it could be that they didn't, they shied away from a connection thinking that, nothing can happen, or they weren't certain about their own like abilities to create something with you. And I feel like whatever this person is thought about, like I think brought them a lot more confidence and made them feel like, maybe something happened where they, on some level prove to themselves that they can get what they want in life. And seeing that makes them feel like there's potential that they missed in other situations. So it could be, again, like if this person left your life and they suddenly came back, it's like they may feel like, based off of their perspective in the past, they weren't able to see the potential in the connection with you that they see now. So and I think it really, again, it's like more of an internal thing, something that like they might have felt like was wrong with them, where they didn't feel excited about life. They might have felt depressed, and so they weren't really seeing the potential in situations. They weren't able to feel positive about things. And I feel like a lot of that has really changed. Like, you see how she's smiling there. I feel like this person's confidence has shifted. This person feels like they're able to create, positive situations in their life, and there's like a really big feeling like they could just have it all. So it's like really compelling them to maybe move towards you, is what it feels. Yeah, it's like it's like they really sense that there could be something good with you, is what I get. And they're really wanting to explore that and see what what they can create with you, if it could be what they think. Like, also with the dreams and temptation card, I'm gonna look in the book pretty soon here for that card, but like it does make me think like maybe this person had a dream about you, and it doesn't, maybe it's a dream, and they're thinking like somehow that means that it gave them some level of like inspiration towards moving towards you or something like that. But it just makes me think that like on in the past they thought like maybe they didn't feel like they had a lot of power towards creating what they want out of life, or to make their dreams come true. And suddenly this person feels like they may be able to make their dreams come true, which I would kind of think maybe you're a part of that on some level. So let's see. Dreams and temptation. Ooh, okay, it's associated with jealousy. That's interesting considering the Scorpio energy coming up. That can be a pretty jealous energy, to be quite honest, because Scorpio, related to Pluto, can be about control. So that's interesting. Maybe. Oh, okay. Maybe. I wasn't really getting this, so maybe this doesn't apply to everybody. But yeah, it could be that part of the reason why they're doing this or they're acting this way is maybe on some level because of jealousy. But let's see, it says this card reflects the tempting pull of envy, where desires are focused outward rather than inward. It suggests a struggle with jealousy, emphasizing how comparison with others can sidetrack personal growth. The seeker is encouraged to redirect focus, recognizing how these feelings may hinder progress towards genuine fulfillment. Okay, let's see. Hold on, let me read a little bit more. Yeah, okay. So honestly, I think, if you relate to this person in the past, kind of seeming, cold. We have the coldness card. So it's like they weren't open to you. Maybe they didn't feel very good in their emotions. They felt a little bit depressed, or, there could have been a level of stagnancy within the connection with you. It could be in the past they felt jealous about certain things, and that might have been where they weren't seeing potential with you, maybe because they felt like, I don't know, maybe they felt like you were more interested in someone else. They could have been jealous around, like, about the people in your life or something like that. Um, It is possible because, I do feel like these types of things can be really difficult to kind of heal within ourselves and work on and kind of really understand. So I do feel like this person may still struggle with level of jealousy with you, but it does feel like they're working through jealousy. So if they were feeling jealous in the past and that made them feel like there wasn't a potential in this connection, I feel like they're looking at things differently and thinking that maybe they didn't need to feel jealous about certain things. And it makes me think that they're feeling more confident that they, again, can see a potential in the connection with you. Like, it feels like whatever they may have been jealous about could have been small things, could have been things that they didn't really need to worry about. But, especially, I would assume for most of you, you're here for a love connection, and this person probably has feelings for you. And when it comes to love connections, they're definitely more intense and can bring up a lot more of those sort of jealous feelings that we experience. So, yeah, I feel like they're working through that. They don't feel as jealous about certain things that was kind of getting to them before, and now they're seeing more of a potential in the connection with you, which makes them feel, again, very happy. It makes them feel very confident, and again, it makes them feel like all their dreams are suddenly possible, that they could actually create these things. And I think they really battled with not feeling confident before, not feeling like they could create something with you before. So something must have changed that makes them feel, again, like there's a lot more that's like possible in the connection with you. So yeah, that's your reading, pile 3. I hope it does resonate with you. It makes sense. It's helpful in some level, brings you clarity on your situation with your person. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Alright, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the aquamarine crystal. Um, Little thing about your reading or your pile. I don't know. And I've told a couple piles this before, but I don't know. I would say your pile is the one that I'm most drawn to as far as like aesthetically, not intuitively. I don't know. I like how it looks, especially with the crystal on it. So yeah, we have agony and confusion. So we're going to take a look at, your tarot cards first, and that's supposed to kind of describe either what action your person took or how they're behaving. And, obviously, like, part of the reason why we're looking into that is to make sure people are resonating with their reading, so they know that they are in the right reading. And I think it would also help them trust the messages that come afterwards, as, kind of explaining why their person is acting like that or they've done that. So let's see, we have the Eight of Cups. We have the Empress, Taurus energy here. And we have the Nine of Cups. So yeah, it's kind of interesting because I was talking about the Nine of Cups in pile 1. So they actually had the Ten of Cups. So how your person's acting or what they've done, I would say it's like, you could see this person as being a bit selfish, because I was explaining in pile 1 that the Nine of Cups, it's this wish fulfillment energy, emotional fulfillment, but it's, kind of a very personal thing. It's like, what do I want? What's going to make me feel good? Because I was explaining the Ten of Cups can be this like overpouring of positive emotions, which can, kind of create this very generous energy. So I would say, like, you don't see your person as being maybe generous, even though we have the Empress energy, which, okay, so maybe like naturally you see this person as being quite generous within their connections or their relationships, because so the Empress is a stable energy. The Empress knows her worth, and she puts herself first so that she knows that she's in a good position to also look after others. So you could see that this person that way, that like naturally, they are a very generous person, very giving, quite nurturing. They care about the people around them. But you could see this person as being a bit more selfish recently, or like maybe within a specific action they took. Like, the Eight of Cups can be this card of moving away from something, walking away. So it could be that this person walked away from the connection. They could have moved away from you. And it seems like their direction is going after their own emotional fulfillment. So it is possible that this person felt in the past that they were overgiving, that they were not, putting themselves first in situations. And it's like, yeah, it feels like this person is prioritizing themselves right now. Kind of like evaluating what really makes them happy within life, and, not really settling for things that don't make them happy. It feels like this person really wants to move towards things that are really going to fulfill them, and they're prepared to walk away from things in order to get there. So, let's see. So, kind of to explain why they're acting this way or why they've done this. So we have destiny, past or future focus / present. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I laughed when this card came out because it felt very confirming to what I was getting with this person's energy. Yeah, we have conquer and we have leadership. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know what happened with this person. Like, it could be that, like, I don't know, for some of you, this doesn't exactly feel like a romantic connection. Like, this could feel like a friend. I guess it could be a romantic connection. But, like, basically, sorry, excuse me. I'm, like, recovering from a cold still. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. The conquer energy just makes me think like suddenly this person felt a strong desire to like take their life seriously. It could be that like they just suddenly woke up one day and was like, what the fuck am I doing? And like they're like, I need to change things and I need to like actually figure out what's going to fulfill me in life, what's going to make me happy. And it could be that this person, why they're like suddenly seeming more selfish than usual, it could be that they felt like they gave a lot of their energy away towards things that didn't fulfill them in the past. It's like they were like, they woke up and they're like, I've been wasting my time. Like, this is not what I want, or this is not what's making me happy, and I need to move. I need to detach. I need to go towards things that actually fulfill me. And then, like, with the Destiny card, it's like, this person suddenly had a calling. This person suddenly got really serious about their life. This person suddenly discovered, like, no, I'm worth a lot. And maybe this is not the life I deserve, or the life that I want to be living. So what do I need to do? And what do I need to walk away from in order to create more of the life that they really desire? Yeah, taking leadership. And just like with the conquer energy, like you can see, like, it's almost like an explosion in the background, where it's like, yeah, like maybe they felt like they just needed to, like, blow up like a certain situation that they were in, or something like that. And what I mean by that is, like, that's a good question. What do I mean by that? Like, it felt very clear to me, but, like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's like they woke up one day and decided, like, this is not what I want, and, like, really wanted to change certain things, and not being afraid. Like, so, okay, here's how it makes sense. Like, with the idea with the Empress energy, and, like, maybe this person was kind of like not really honoring themselves in the past. They were, like, agreeing to things that they didn't really want, or they were agreeing to a life that wasn't really satisfying, and they were telling themselves, like, this is okay, like, I'm fine with this, like, maybe I want this, and maybe questioning it a lot. And then um on some level, they were attached to the life that they were living, although it wasn't fulfilling. So maybe it was just comfortable for them, and they were just used to it. And so on some level, they accepted it. But at some point, they were fed up, and they were like, okay, this is not what I want. And I've been living this way, and I've been accepting it, and I need to change it. And if I really want to go towards what I really want. So it's, yeah, with the conquer energy, just blowing up their situation, like, being okay with destruction, being okay with maybe letting other people down in order to leave situations and go more towards what they want. Knowing that it might be destructive in the moment, but it will push them towards more of what they really want. Is this what I'm trying to explain? Like, they may have been afraid to kind of destroy something in their life, or walk away from something in their life, because they were afraid of consequences, or they were afraid of what other people would think, or how other people would feel about it. And they just saw it as a very, like, chaotic situation if they were ever going to, like, change it, or move in a different direction or something. They thought of it as going to bring a lot of chaos in that moment. And I think that could be what happened. But it's this idea that, like, I'm not going to be afraid of the chaos. I'm not going to be afraid of the changes. I'm not going to be afraid of what other people think about it, or if they feel disappointed about it, or if they don't agree with it. I'm just going to basically, what's the word? It's like they put their blinders on, and all the things that they were worried about when making these changes, they blinded themselves to it. And it feels like what they needed to do in order to move. Because if they were always going to be afraid of changes, if they were always going to be afraid of a potential chaos for moving away from something, they were just not going to do it. And I think that's what held this person back. Because I get the sense that this person was stuck in something that was really unfulfilling for them for quite some time. And this, like, avoidance of, like, a breakdown that kind of seems like it needed to happen. So it's like, if they walked away from something, and that does happen with the Eight of Cups, it's like there is an attachment to whatever we're walking away from. So it's not exactly the easiest thing to really do. And so it's like, they suddenly felt brave enough to go towards what they want, even if it caused some level of destruction of the past or something like that, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at, I don't know, I don't know, your reading is fun. I understand that for some of you, maybe most of you, that this was not like a very happy situation for you, because this could be someone who literally left your life and doesn't seem to be, they're like just focused on the future, focused on what makes them happy, and it's more of like a on their own type of thing is what it feels like. So for some of you, again, it could be kind of a sad situation, but I will say I do like this person's energy. It like kind of filled me with passion, makes the reading fun for me to do. So although it may not be the most positive situation, I do like your reading. So yeah, let's see. Agony and confusion. So it's associated with unresolved plan. Oh, sorry. I read plan. It's unresolved pain. Yeah, okay. So it says this card reflects a period of pain or unresolved hurt where confusion clouds understanding and closure remains elusive. It signifies emotional turbulence, lingering questions, and the inner struggle to find meaning or acceptance amid suffering. Here, the heart, sorry, here the heart's ache seeks clarity, yearning to heal the unknown wounds within. Okay, and then in the reverse position, I guess I'll read both because I didn't take like either, reversals in this reading. I just took all the cards upright, but I think this applies to your reading. In reverse, it suggests clarity beginning to surface, a path to closure, or a healing from past pain. As understanding and resolution start to take shape, this movement towards peace may encourage a release of the old grief that has been lingering. Yeah, honestly, it feels like this person was like stuck in a life that they were really not happy with, and they were creating all these excuses for why they should stay in a situation that doesn't make them happy. And so again, with this, it suggests clarity beginning to surface. It's like waking up one day and realizing I'm fed up with this. I don't have to deal with this, and I can make changes and walk away from things in order to move towards things that truly do make this person happy. Yeah, and it feels like this person was really worried to walk away from a past life because of like maybe people's expectations, or worrying that they're going to upset someone or hurt someone in kind of leaving a situation. So that's basically your reading. I hope it did bring you clarity. But yeah, that's why this person has walked away from certain things. Like they feel like a really big, sudden, like, call towards something. Like they suddenly really want to take their life and their energy seriously, and they really want to go towards things that truly make them feel good and make them happy. And it really does feel like this person was settling for quite some time in a situation that wasn't truly what they wanted out of life, or something that didn't really fulfill them or make them happy, and they stayed stuck in that situation. And suddenly they're like, okay, this hasn't been working for me, this isn't what I've been wanting, and I need to just end things, I need to just change it. And not being afraid of the destruction that comes from that. It's like they were always avoiding that, and in avoiding that sort of chaos or that sort of destruction, they were also avoiding their own happiness. So again, it might be like, if this person left you, it might be a difficult message to hear, but yeah, that could be why they left, is because they just were not fulfilled in life with the situation. And they might have been creating excuses and staying in a situation that was, really not fulfilling for them. And they might, again, it feels like they were doing that for quite some time. And it could be that this person reached a level of maturity where they felt like, if this person's older, that like they don't have much time left on this earth, and that pressure really made them feel the need to, again, change things in their life and walk away from certain things so that, the rest of their life would be, a positive thing, something that was really, a wish come true for them. And actually, like, taking leadership in their life to go towards that. It feels like this person was just kind of hanging out in the passenger seat of their own life and just allowing things to happen just anyway, and accepting, this is just what life has given me. And instead, what's shifted is that, yeah, they decided that they needed to take leadership towards what they want out of life, and like be brave enough to end certain things, be brave enough to create a level of destruction or chaos, and not be afraid to do that, in order to get, more of what they want out of life. So that's, explaining this person, like why they are acting the way they are, why they did what they did. Um, yeah, and even like the aquamarine crystal, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned before, it's a March birthstone, so it's associated with Pisces and Aries. So yeah, we have Pisces, Aries, and Taurus here. But yeah, like I've explained in readings, that crystal broke, so I super glued it back together, and it always makes me think of like mending a situation or repairing a situation. And I wouldn't say, this doesn't seem like an energy of someone who's wanting to, like, if this person left your life, I don't think that they're planning on like coming back. Unfortunately, it feels like they've moved on, and they're really trying to figure out what fulfills them in life, and that may not have to do with you. For some of you, this is completely unrelated to your connection. Like, you might have your connection with this person is just fine, but they might have like moved away or something, and it was in order to create more of like a true fulfillment within their life and go towards some sort of calling that they have. So yeah, it could just, it doesn't have to be this person left you. They might have just left a lot of different things in their life in order to move towards more of what they want. It could be that this person like felt broken as a person, and like it's this idea that like finally being brave enough to go towards what they want out of life allowed them to heal on some level. So again, that's why I do feel like this is a good energy, at least for me to be in. Although I understand for a lot of you, it could be that this person literally left your life, and it might be a sad situation for you. But yeah, I don't know. I hope I did a good job of explaining why this person walked away from certain things. And yeah, that's your reading, pile 4. So I'm wishing you the best, pile 4. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you back in the next reading. Bye.